through my wrist like nothing else. It's like a huge, sticky river, and God, I hope it drowns me and rather die that way, since there's no pain. A long silence spreads on. There's pain when you drown. You drowned a couple episodes ago. What are you talking about? A long, painful silence. I feel dizzy. Don't lie to us, Draco said. Don't you dare lie! My father would never. Why wouldn't he, Draco? I whispered, feeling the blood running around the floor around me, gliding. Every fifth word is just wrong. Gliding up the tiles in the ground, running into my hair, drenching my robes. Surely the thought of your father sleeping with a mudblood is far worse to you than the idea of him sleeping with your mother's sister. Enough! Bellatrix screamed. Just shut up! Will nothing keep that ugly mouth of yours shut? Curse you! Pain and torture and agony tear through me, ripping me, my shreds, violating me and pulling me apart. Veins of acid course through my veins. Pain beyond imagination, or endurance, or even human thought. And oh God, just please let me die now. It leaves on how long? It leaves me almost instantly as it begins. I shudder. I shudder on the ground. I can still feel the blood pooling around me, cooling off in the darkness. I'm almost numb now. I don't know, but it seems to be floating away slightly. I feel drained. It's almost over. Bellatrix murmurs. Say goodbye to the world, Mudblood. Pray to whatever useless god you believe in, because you don't have much time left. From the look of you, Lucius will think his little darling Mudblood killed herself. No one is here to help you. So pray now, and delude yourself that there is something waiting for you on the other side. And I do it. I do as she says, and I start to pray. Dear Lord, I know I must have done some terrible things to make you hate me so much. All I asked was for you to let me see Lucius suffer. But you wouldn't even let me see that. You let him take everything. You let him. I hate you for doing this to me. Look after my parents for me. Look after my parents for me in heaven, because I know that because of what I did to Dolahoff, I'm going straight down to hell. There'll be some irony for Lucius, that when he dies, I'll be laughing as I wait for him in hell. Amen. God doesn't answer, of course. He's forgotten about me. I close my eyes, a delighted giggle rings out of the darkness. Ha! Yes, that's right. Lie down and die like a good little girl. A huge bang rips through the room, interrupting her. My eyes flick open, but I can't see anything. What's going on? Draco's voice sounds shakily nervous in the darkness. Questions answered. Just a second later, Lumos. Dimly I'm aware the room is filled with light, and I can see dark figures into the room. I blink, a dark figure into the room. I blink, and slowly, oh so slowly, it comes into focus. Ridiculous focus. It's Lucius. The answer to my prayers. The answer to my prayers. His face is white with fury, and his eyes roam around the room, taking in Bellatrix, whose face is flushed with triumph and rage, and Draco shaking in terror. Finally, his eyes rest on me. They widen. I want to say something, but the words can't come. There's nothing I could say that would make any sense. I feel my brain dead. Nothing makes sense to me, anyways. And so I only mouth the words that come. I mouth the only words that'll come to me. Help me. His mouth twitches with alabaster white. His muscles twitch in that alabaster white cheek. And he strides over me, crouching down next to me and holding up my limp wrist, looking at me with absolute horror. He turns his head to Bellatrix for a moment with a look of pure and utter hatred. Good God! What have you done? He whispers. She stares at him defiantly, her face white. You brought us to this, Lucius, she says shakily. You want to protect your own precious little mother, bitch. Then you should have stayed away from her from the very beginning. Perhaps you should have thought about what danger you might be putting her in when you chose to take her to your bed. He shakes his head at her, looking as if he can't even comprehend her. You stupid, unhinged. He seems to struggle for the words for a moment before he looks at my wrist again, looking down at the blood pouring over his chalk right hand, and suddenly snaps, Do you realize what you've done? Draco jumps visibly and backs up slightly, but Bellatrix stands her ground. Lucius turns to me quickly, picking my hands up and pointing his wand at my wrist, magically sealing the cuts on one wrist and then the other. It doesn't help me. My vision's dimming, and I grip the sleeves of his robes, trying to tell him what's happening to me, but I can't make any sounds leave my lips. He turns to Draco with a face like flint. Draco, get out. Go to your room, and don't let me see you again this evening. I'll deal with you in the morning. Draco's lips thin out as his cheeks flash unpleasantly. All you've ever taught me is that mudbloods are scum, father, he bursts out. That's true, then why are you sleeping with one behind my back? Lucius points his wand furiously at his son, who stumbles back slightly, his face completely white. And I can't see Lucius's face, but I can tell from the sound of his voice just how angry he must look. I would like to believe that I have brought you up to be more intelligent than you to believe your aunt's deranged lies. Now leave, so help me, I'll show you firsthand the effects of the Cruciatus curse. Now get out of my sight! And Draco turns and stumbles from the room, almost tripping over his own feet in the haste to get away from his father's rage. The door slams behind him as he leaves. My entire body feels numb with the slight shock, so dark I can barely see anyone, only hear. I whisper, but I can't be heard. You stupid bitch! I hear him mutter. What the hell do you think you're trying to achieve? What else was I meant to do, Lucius? What else was I meant to do, Lucius? I hear her footsteps move over and stand next to him. If I concentrate hard enough, I can see two dim figures standing over me. One of them reaches out to try to hold on to the other. She took you from me, and now you blame you, and I don't blame you for it. You're obsessed by her. But it's only because she's something forbidden to you, not for any other reason. I know. I know that if she's just out of the way, then things will go back to the way they used to be. The way they used to be? Lucius whispers it, disbelieving. You pathetic bitch! What exactly do you think there ever was between us? A long silence spreads out between them. I try desperately to see what's happening, but I can only see the two dim figures above me, one of them dropping their arms from the other. What is it about her? I hear Bellatrix's voice, but the sounds further away than before. She's just a girl! Filthy little mudblood girl! What can she offer you that I can't? There's a long silence before Lucius answers her. Get out, Bellatrix. Just go away. You've done enough harm this evening. And then she screams suddenly. I try so hard to open my eyes to see what's going on. Everything's dark. Everything. Oh, yes. Because I can't have your precious little mudblood whore, can I? She screams. You're pathetic. Fucking a mudblood just because she's so weak and pathetic and needy. If you are a pure blood or even a half blood, I might understand. If she were a pure blood or half blood, I might even understand. But you won't even. But you will not leave me for a subhuman being. You just won't. I can see dimly as she retches. I can dimly see her retch his arm and pointed it at me. I can dimly see her retch his arm and pointed at me. Okay. Just stun her, Lucius. She whispers. Stun her. and leave her here to die. All troubles will be over. The Dark Lord will think she killed herself, and will get rid of the sickness that poisons you. Do it! It is the only way. She lets go of his arm, and I can vaguely make out that he's still pointing his wand at me, making his decision, deciding whether or not he can finally get rid of his mud-blood burden. I dimly look up at him, but I can't see his face. But then, do I want to see his face as he casts a spell that's going to kill me? His arm raises and he turns to the side. You ask for too much. He mutters viciously, "Of course you do." Screams tear through the room, high-pitched, terrifying screams of absolute agony. Bellatrix is finally learning firsthand what her favorite curse can do, and Lucius is showing her, all for me. The screams stop, and I hear a huge thud as something hits the ground. I try so desperately to see what's happening that I can't see. My vision has finally given up. As darkness envelops me, there's nothing else. Nothing makes sense. Nothing makes sense. I'm floating. There's a muffled, dragging noise coming from the floors before I hear the door swing open and something heavy is thrown unceremoniously outside the other room before the door slams shut again. Clopas. There's a long silence before footsteps across the room coming towards me, and I sense someone crouching down next to me. A hand brushes into my face. My blood. It's his voice, Lucius's voice. I try to cling to it, but it just slips away from me like water I can't hold on to. My blood. Can you hear me? I feel a hand slip into mine, and I grip at his fingers instinctively, wrapping my fingers tight around his. Speak to me, my blood. You need to hold on. Just hold on. Don't let go. He wants me to live. Despite everything that's happened, he wants me to live. Do I want to live? Do I want to carry on this world, ruled by hatred, prejudice, and fear? I open my eyes, and I push whispers out of me desperately. But why? I ask. Why do you want me to? There's a long silence, and I feel his fingers tighten around mine. You know why, my blood. Yes. I know why. In this moment of bizarre clarity, I know exactly what's going on. I knew long before. I knew long ago, before he did. This isn't enough. Isn't enough to keep me alive. My parents, I whisper. Elsie. My parents. I feel myself being dragged up and held vertically against his chest as he shakes me, holding on to me oh so tightly. Hold on, he mutters passionately. I can just conjure up a potion to kill you. I just need you to hold on so you can take it. I don't want to. I whisper. I don't. He holds me even closer to him, and I can feel him pressing into me. I can feel him, smell him. I try to hold him back, but I can't. Everything's so dark. I can't see. I cry out. Only please. He holds on to me tightly, my head pressing into his neck. His arms are shaking around me as he cling on to me. Hold on, Hermione. I need you to hold on. Hermione. Hermione. My name. He said my name once more. I could cling on forever to that name, that validation of being. If only him seeing me as a human being would be enough to save me. It's not too little. It's not too little too late, because that title coming from him means everything to me. Not just Mudblood, but Hermione. The world falls away around me, and I slip into merciful darkness.